I want to read another Bible verse, and what it says is, it's Proverbs 30, the 32nd verse and the 33rd verse. If you're dumb enough to call attention to yourself by offending people and making rude gestures, don't be surprised if someone bloodens your nose. Churned milk turns into butter. Riled emotions turn into fist fights. Speak out for justice. I think that also speaks for itself. When you let your emotions turn wild, you should be ready for a fight. If I go walk up to Joe Blow and just start going off on him, cursing him out and putting him down and talking about him, I can't be surprised when Joe's ready to fight me. Don't be that person that riles up other people and has them ready to fight. Because the devil is only using you as a key, not only to bring yourself down and allow the devil to win, but affect others. And if you're that other person and somebody's trying to bring you down, don't get riled with your emotions back at them, because then the devil has you both. Just remember to trust God, and like I said, take a step back and allow yourself to come back to a sound mind before you respond. And I know it's easier said than done, because nowadays everybody has that attitude. If he tells me something, I gotta tell him something back. If he curses me, then I have to curse him back. If he pushes me, I have to push him back. And I'm not saying let people walk over you or run over you. Trust me, I'm not saying that. I'm being realistic. 29, and I haven't remembered a time that I've been slapped that I just turned the other cheek to that person. But I'm 29, and I have been in situations where I could have argued back, or I could have fought back, and I chose to just relax and either walk away or continue to keep my sound mind and kill them with kindness. Respond back. When you respond back with somebody who's trying to argue and you don't get riled up with them and you still remain calm, you do one or two things. Either you drive them either further or you confuse them. And it may diffuse the situation because they feel like they can bring it down a notch. Some people just naturally get defensive. Some people have other issues going on in their life where their attitude is naturally bad. Don't let their bad attitude infect your attitude. Why? You need to turn around and let your attitude affect theirs. Like I said, God takes us and he uses us on a stage that he strengthens us. He takes the ones who are broken and he makes them whole. And it's not just for us. So you can't think that God is doing things for you and to you to be selfish. He's doing a lot of those things because he's using you to show other people what God can do. A lot of the pain or, situations you may go through that you like, why me God, and this and that. I've been there and I've done that. I never understood why I went through certain things. And then later on I find out that I meet somebody who went through it and has never talked to somebody who's gone through it and has made it through it. And then I can talk to them about that. It's things that is going on in my life that people look at me and be like, man, he did that. And I didn't know, or I have never met anybody who was able to do that. I've never met anybody who's been in his position and really been bold about being a Christian. So when you go through things, when you go through storms, know that you go through storms to grow. Flowers need rain. They don't just sit out in the sun and grow. Flowers need rain. So just like you need the sunshine to grow as a flower, that same flower that needs that sunshine has to have rain at some point in time for it to grow. And our spirits or our lifestyles are the same way. We have to go through things in order for us to grow. It's not to go through them to be punished. It's in order for us to grow. And it's in order for people to see us growing. And it's people watching you. Once you tell people you're a Christian, or once people really realize that you're living a different lifestyle than the rest of everybody else in the world, people watch you from a distance. And you do get some people who watch you waiting for you to fall, to say, I told you so, waiting to try to judge every move you make. But you will get a lot of people in another corner who watch you and respect what you're doing. they watch you, and you're a motivation for them to kind of do it. They may not come out and tell you all the time, or they may not be bold as you at that time, but they're building up. God is doing things in them through you. And that's the whole point of being Christian. When people are Christian, it should be a reflection of Christ. When people look at you, they should look at Christ. You know, when I did music and wrote books, I didn't do that for people to cheer my name or treat me as some, you know, star, or man, he raps, that he did this. No, I did that for people to hear what Christ has done for me. It never was for self-gratification. Like I said, I know it's easier said than done when you're dealing with emotional situations. But at the same time, like I said, you have to remember that God is love, and love is created by God. But love is so much more than an emotion. Love is, even in the Bible, a powerful thing. And that power is more than what an emotion can contain it to be. And don't get me wrong, you can love to play Madden, love to play basketball or football, love your job. But at whatever point you get to where that is your foundation of your joy and your happiness, you put yourselves in that box. You put yourselves attached to that. And if it's removed from your life, you become lost. And your emotions are basically running wild at that point. You're so lost, your emotions are going in every direction. And a lot of people are seeing that these days. You have so much going on. People have loved their jobs. They love their lifestyles. The economy went bad. We went into a recession. People are losing their jobs. And if you look all across the nations, you have murder, suicides on the rise. People are killing their entire families because the lifestyle that they so loved, that they had so much joy in having a $1 million house with 2 or 3 boats and fancy cars, that when that lifestyle had to change, they were so lost, they had no life. If you put your life in things on this earth and people in this earth, you putting your life in their hands, because if you lose that thing or that person, you have no life left. And we should be dead to the world but alive in Christ. And once you're alive in Christ, Christ is forever and always. Never will leave you and never will forsake you. So if you've got Christ, no matter what else happens around you, what else you lose in the world, people, places, you still have Christ. You still have your happiness. You still have your joy. You still have your strength. And you still have that trust that God is still going to make things happen for you, even when you can't see or understand what's going on around you. You can have the trust that it'll still work out and God will see you through. Once you start learning to do that and relaxing, taking time to collect that sound mind, you'll understand that, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to stoop to this level to argue back. Or, you know, I'm upset because I don't have that fancy car, that luxury car. I may be sad, but then you can step back and say, well, you know, if I don't have it now, it's probably for a good reason, and it's in my best interest why I don't have it now. Maybe I don't have it because I don't need it. And God knows what's best for us better than we do. It's a reason why you don't. It's a reason why you will or you won't. We may not understand the reason. Everybody is working to make money and, you know, live comfortably, live happy. But it's a reason why everybody on the planet Earth is not a millionaire. And it may be because you possibly couldn't handle being a millionaire. If you was a millionaire, you know, would you still go to church? Would you still pay your tithes? Would you end up finding out that you worshiping the money and that you are only looking to make money and do this and do that, and you wasn't planning on trying to do anything to help anybody else? So God may be building you for that. He may be preparing you to be in that position. And it may be a reason why he still has you where you are now, it may be because he's trying to use you to reach other people where you are now, and if you weren't there, you might not reach them. So be happy in God, happy that you're here, and find joy in doing the Lord's work. And when I say doing the Lord's work, I don't mean go build Noah's Ark or go to some school to be a pastor or go build your own church. If that's what he wants you to do, then that's what you do. But like I said, we all are called to be ministers and disciples of his word. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a preacher or some missionary or go, work in a mission overseas and feed the needy. It's different parts of God's body. Each part has its own function. Each part is not the same as the other part. Just like the parts of your body. Your hand is not the same as your foot. You don't use your feet to do the same thing your hands do, and vice versa. So whatever God is calling you to do, then you pursue that. And be happy where you are. Be content where you are. Doesn't mean you can't work for more. But be happy with what you have and what you are. But don't put your emotions in the things that you have. Love those around you. And if you love them, even when their emotions are wild, maintain that love for that person. Don't turn your back, and you don't have to respond back at that person. Because when you respond hate to hate, you did nothing but make hate greater. You made hate stronger. When you respond love to hate, understanding to hate, you just brought it down a notch. When you respond a negative to a positive, it cancels out. And then you make it positive. Once something is not negative, it's positive. It's already moving toward going back to be positive. But when you go negative for negative, you just dug the hole deeper down in the negative side. So it's not always good. Like I said, you can't allow people to walk over you. But at the same time, what goes on around you is your choice of how you respond to it. When people are arguing, when people are sad, when people are mad, it's your choice whether or not you allow your flesh to let your emotions overrule the spirit. The spirit is there to guide you, to comfort you, just like the footstep plan. When you walk, God was walking his footprints right next to you. When you couldn't walk, he carried you. So when you're going through these emotional times, sit back and trust God. Trust that God knows if he or she can't walk and they can't make it, I got them. And you have to trust that. And that's something you have to work to build. You have to work not to lose your temper. Work not to lose your cool. And sometimes people may think you're crazy. Some people think I'm crazy. I've gotten in arguments with people and, they want to argue, and I just kind of, okay, all right, okay. And then when you hit them with that, like, you don't care or give a flip that they're losing their cool and that they want to cuss you out and you don't respond back with it, then it either throws them for that loop, it brings them down a notch, or it just drives them and makes them even madder because they don't understand, they can't find the buttons to push for you to get upset with them. Misery loves company. But if you're going to kill somebody, kill them with kindness.